Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Knife Chats with Tobias. Well, as we're coming up on the 250th anniversary of America's independence, I thought I'd take a look at a knife from the 200th anniversary of America's independence. And this was a knife by Boker Tree brand, as you can see there. Great American Story knives, limited edition collector's item. And this one, July 4th, 1976. And we see here it is knife number 1781. And on the back side we see Boker Tree Brands knives, Division J. Wiss and Sons Company, 400 West Market Street, Newark, New Jersey, 07107. And then this says B1181. Not sure what that means. In any case, let's get it open. Nice packaging though. It's a nice hard cardboard box. And here is the knife as it is presented in the box. Obviously, it has been in and out of the box a few times. This knife was not, I did not buy this knife new back in 1976. Actually, I picked it up last year, 2025, the 249th year of America's independence. We're moving into the 250th this year. Hopefully we'll see similar knives being made in America that are as this kind of quality, and also in large enough numbers that plenty of people can get it instead of high priced or overpriced small numbers that only a few can get. We'll see what happens. In any case, let's take a look at the knife. As you know, it's Boker Tree brand, but it is made in USA. And let me zoom in for the shield here. There we go. It is a nickel silver shield with the American flag and then a banner underneath that reads July 4th, 1976. And as you can see, we have nickel silver pins on here and some really gorgeous jig Delrin going on. Yeah, that is Delrin. Here we can kind of tell that better from here on the side. And then here's the back side. Still, once again, very gorgeous. It really looks great. Some great coloring in there and everything else. As I mentioned, nickel silver pins. Looks like stainless steel back springs and brass liners and spacers there going on. We see it right there. And also nickel silver bolsters. Definitely a little tarnished over the years. This is at 3x magnification. Yeah, you can kind of see the pivot there. Not as much on the back side here, nor there. So it's just on the front side here that under high magnification you can see where the pin is in there. Let me zoom back out. Okay, there we have the whole knife in view again. And as we can see, you got the long pull on the main blade here. And if you notice, there is a swedge on the top here, but that swedge is only on one side. Nice and tight there. You see the match strike pull, a long match strike pull. And then, if we can make it out, there we go. 200 years of freedom. Maybe I can get it back a little bit. I'm going to zoom in again so we can get that better. There we go. 200 years of freedom in quotes. And then we have a pattern number here, which says 19933. So that is the number for the Stockman that they're building this on. The knife number was 1781. Now, as I mentioned, you got a swedge on the front side of the blade. You do not have a swedge on the back side of the blade. Very common on some of these knives. We have here 1781, yeah, and 1781 there. And then we see the Boker Tree brand tree in between the knife number there. So that's kind of cool too. And then let's go to the other blades. Oh, let's open this up and check. Oh, that is still tight. 50 years later, and it is still tight. However, I doubt this knife was used a lot. This looks like somebody took the knife and kept it as a presentation piece. I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. Okay, there we go. We see there again, another look at the handles. The back spay blade has a little bit of staining on it. I have not cleaned this knife at all. I really do need to clean it. I think I can really polish this up too over time. Still got a bit of an edge on it, but it's not extremely sharp. And like I said, I don't think this knife was used a lot. We have Boker USA on the spay blade there. And nothing on the back side. And yeah, got a lazy half stop on it. Now we got the sheep foot blade. That one has a stain also on it. I think all of these can be polished out. I'm not going to be polishing it right now though. Just wanted to show it to you. Yeah, again, I don't see it as being used. It might have been used a little bit, but not much. If it was used, it was lightly used. It does not appear to have been sharpened. I would not say it is extremely sharp either. Yeah, well, that's a double piece of paper, but it's got a working edge on the sheep foot blade, probably a working edge on all of them, but not a really bad knife. And again, 250th anniversary for America. I don't think the knife was really thought that they'd be using it a lot, so maybe they didn't put the best of edges on the blades. Overall size for this knife is right at 4 inches, a little over 4 inches, maybe 4 1/8, 4 1/16, something like that. The main blade comes in right at 3 inches with a 2 3/4 inch cutting edge. And let's see the other two blades. Sheep foot, right over 2 inches, about 1 7/8 inches for the cutting edge. And I bet you the spay is about the same. Spay is right at 2 inches, 1 3/4 inches for the cutting edge. Do we have a line showing? We do have some, we can see it right there. There is definitely some blade rub. People are talking about that all the time. Even back 50 years ago, blade rub was a thing, you know, especially with things like Stockmans and canoes and such. Do we have it here too? Yeah, there's some blade rub right through that stain on there too. So all in all, a really nice knife for a knife that's, well, 50 years old. Let me grab another Boker that I have and let's see how it compares. Okay, I bought this one about 3 years ago. This is supposed to be tortoise shell. I was not at all crazy about what they call tortoise shell, but we can see that the build quality was still pretty good. I mean, look at how right there is very flush. Everything is very flush on it, and it's nicely pinned. Action is not the smoothest. It's smooth enough though. And it does have an edge on there. Yeah, this has a better edge going on for it. Now, this is not made in the United States, I don't believe. I think this is actually made in China. But when I was buying it, it was like, it said German made. It might be German made, but I don't think it's made in, I don't think it's made in Soligen, Germany. High carbon stainless steel on the blade. Let's see the difference. This is a pin blade, really. That's more of a pin blade. Yeah, that's a pin blade. It's not a spay blade. So that's a little bit of a difference. We can see the difference right there. Let's compare the sheepfoot blade. Sheepfoot blade also says high carbon stainless, and a slightly thinner blade, slimmer, I'd say, a little bit, but it's got a larger nail nick. Length is about the same though. Is this knife the same length? Yeah, they're about the same length overall, the knives. I would say so, yeah. Yeah, they're about the same. There we go. About the same length. Clip blade, this one just says tree brand on there, Boker, and then no pattern number, and also no place of production. It's not marked on the knife, other than here where it says Boker tree brand, I think, but it doesn't say where it is made. Let's zoom in on that. No, it just says Germany. From what I understand, this might be made in the Adler factory instead of the one in Soligen. I don't know for certain, but that's the only thing that says it. The other thing that a lot of people say are these Bokers, the ones that just say Germany on the shield but have no other mark on them, are assembled in Germany, but the parts come from China most likely. Any case, big difference in them. This was not an inexpensive knife. Matter of fact, let me zoom back out. Despite this knife being 50 years old, I got it for about the same price that I paid for this knife, which was new and on sale. So yeah, that's kind of interesting to me. And this one is in really good shape and feels more solid. Anyway, stick around. I'll take some slides of both knives, and we'll do a little bit of a comparison. Let me take just a second to thank you once again for dropping by and spending a few minutes here at Knife Chats with the Pius. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate any comments that you leave. So please remember to give me that thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode is up and running. Thanks again for dropping by. Really do appreciate your time here.